Welcome to Mr. Chalk's Revision Tips. In this video, we will look at levels of organisation, competition and food webs. So an ecosystem is the interaction between a community of living organisms and their environment. A community is two or more populations of organisms. An ecosystem is the interaction of two or more populations of organisms. So producers are organisms that make their own organic nutrients or food, usually using energy from sunlight. Green plants make their own food by photosynthesis. The other organisms in the food chain then are consumers because they eat the green plants to start off with. So consumers are organisms that eat other living organisms. Primary consumers eat plants, secondary consumers eat primary consumers such as insects or small mammals. An omnivore is an animal or a person that eats both animals and plants. A herbivore is an animal that feeds on plants. A decomposer is an organism whose ecological function involves the recycling of nutrients by performing a natural process of decomposition as it feeds on the dead, decaying organisms. And a carnivore is an animal that eats a diet consisting of mainly meat, whether it comes from live animals or dead animals. A food web is a graphical model depicting the many different food chains within an ecosystem and how they are linked together. So food webs show how plants and animals are connected in many different ways which enable them to survive. The food chains follow just one path of energy as animals find food and it moves up through the chain. A food web is similar to a food chain but larger. The diagram combines many different food chains into energy relationships along organisms or among organisms. Food webs show how plants and animals are connected in many different ways, so the arrow point from the organism being eaten to the organism that eats it to show the direction that the energy is moving through the ecosystem. A food web shows the many different paths that the plants and animals are connected in. So, for instance, we might have a hawk, might also eat a mouse, it might eat squirrel, it might eat frog, or it might eat some other organism. A snake might eat a beetle, a caterpillar, or some other animal, right? So it shows how multiple different food chains can be interconnected. All living things need natural resources, but the problem is that there's not enough for all of them. This means that individuals have to fight in order to survive. That is a struggle called competition. So the graph shows that there is almost always more prey than predators. It also shows the following patterns. So the number of predators increases because there's more prey. The number of prey reduces because there are more predators. The number of predators then reduce because there are less prey. Thanks for watching.